Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, if you remember a couple episodes ago, I went to a 2-story massive building that was hoarded over the past 60 years full of stuff, and I bought a bunch of things. Well, I'm gonna go back there, but before I do, I'm making a pit stop at a bicycle shop in Millet, Alberta, where I'm gonna be taking in a bicycle that I sold, the one I found in the abandoned barn. He wanted that, he's gonna fix it up, but he also said that he could fix up my old tandem bike, so we're gonna go load that up and bring that back. But as I arrive at my store to get the bicycle, I noticed something cool behind me. Can you see it? It's like a service vehicle car show here. I've got my old ambulance, and then we've got an old Cadillac hearse behind me. Now this would make an excellent Ghostbusters conversion right there. That's not too far off of what their car was. Look at that thing. Bob would love this. Look at the fins on that. He must have just found this. This looks like it must be like a field find or a been in storage for a long time, but isn't that ever cool? Well, I gotta go inside and see who's brought this thing in.
Oh, you got some spiders hanging.
Yeah. I've seen guys use old ambulances for tools and...
Yeah, this one, like, I know lots of people that have vans like them, because...
It comes all the way out.
Yeah, lots of people that have vans like them, because, yeah, there's lots of room for
You put
stuff.
your gear in there, and yeah, they can go out the side door too, right?
Yeah, they go out the side. We actually we took it to the Burger Baron the other day, and we pulled it out the side and used it as a picnic table.
When you pull up to a hamburger place, that gives a whole new meaning to meat wagon. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's really cool though.
Yes.
Bicycles are loaded up in the back, and I'm back on the highway. Once we get to Millet, where this gentleman's bicycle shop is, we're going to get them out, have a look at them, and get an idea about what they need. Which I have a feeling that the tandem bike needs quite a bit of work, but it's a worthy thing. It's worth getting fixed up. As for the rest of my day, after we drop these bikes off, I am only going to be 45 minutes or so from the giant antique building that I went in the other day. The hoard, the massive pile of stuff. So I'm gonna go back there for round 2. So it should be an interesting day. First stop, the town of Millet, Alberta. I've actually been out here to this town many times, but I've been to this exact fellow's house once before, and that was with my dad. So I'm gonna have some different memories here. We came here to look at some records that he had for sale. So it's been a while. Wish my dad was with me today. Okay, these are the bikes I'm bringing down. This is the one that I pulled out of the barn. That is going to him as his purchase, and the other one is one I'm hoping to get fixed up. So let's get these out of the vehicle and get them over to the bike shop. So, well, thanks for having me out so early this morning. I know I kind of surprised you with an early visit.
That's okay. We're country folks here.
That's right. I had to wake up with the chickens. So why don't you tell me about your business a little bit?
Well, we've got a small bike shop in Millet. I'm retired, so this is my pension, and we opened this up 6 summers ago. So that's just what we do.
Well, let's pull the bikes inside and we'll have a look and see what we got.
Let's do that, yeah. So, Alex, tell me a little bit about the bike. Where'd you find it?
This bike came out of a small town in Saskatchewan where it had been lingering for many years. And the challenge was I got it as just a frame. As you know, finding a frame is really difficult when it comes to a tandem. I actually had a customer looking for a tandem, and he said, find me a tandem, I want one really bad. And so I found this and he said, oh, well, it's not complete. And I said, well, you didn't say what shape you wanted it in. So I ended up with this. Now I've had it for probably about a year and I haven't really tried too hard to sell it because I always wanted to see it restored.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to require some work. I think the previous owners had sandblasted it and that's as far as they got.
So, I don't exactly know the year of this, but your skip chain there really brings it back to the early 20th century.
Yeah, my understanding when I bought it, the guy said it was somewhere around 1899.
Yeah, that makes sense. So here's what we got going on here. We're gonna have to source your seat post.
Yeah.
And this is it's not a standard size. There's lots of different size seat posts in cycling. This one here, by my experience, is a very, very narrow seat.
I wonder if it's the same as what that would be if it gets...
It's the same size down to, yeah. Now the other problem I noticed here is we got your steering mechanism here.
Yeah.
These we've got galvanization in both these, so she's solid.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to break those loose somehow. Apply a lot of heat, which is okay. We're gonna have to paint this anyways, so we'll have to really work at removing. This is solid.
It's stiff. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, and then of course this stem will be in the fork itself will be galvanized and be seized up. So once we get it broken loose, we'll be able to heat it up and get it all apart. When it's apart, then we get to get it for painting. Now as far as decals go, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly what brand it
I'll
was.
do some research on that. We'll definitely dig that up.
Yeah, I mean, there couldn't have been too many manufacturers making tandems.
Right, and then we have to find the skip chain. But that's okay. I have to go look to see if we can get this different.
Skip
might
chains
be okay,
bracket.
but this comes off, eh?
Yeah.
So we might be able to pull it off.
Now, this would have been a wood rim bike originally, and I found these wire and steel rim off of a 1920s or 30s bike that I thought would be about the appropriate size.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't want to go with wood is, well, A, they're really expensive, wood rims, but also this bike would hold a lot of weight. You know, 2 people on it, that's a lot of extra stress on a wooden rim.
You know, it would look great if you actually hung it on the wall in the shop.
Oh yeah, well I'd like to be able to use the thing too, but yeah, I think it would look great, especially in our new edition. So I'm gonna leave that with you and hope that you're a miracle worker.
You've given me a challenge for sure, Alex, but we'll do our best. We have not a lot of samples of what we do normally because it's been one of those crazy years being COVID.
Right.
And we sold a lot of bikes this year. And
so you've got some restored bikes.
yeah, we got a few left over, and that's pretty much it. And the supply chain has really been exhausted this year around the world. So it's a tough year for cycling parts. Bike shops right now are really struggling. They're really busy. They're overworked, which is great. It's a great blessing. You can't complain about that, right?
Well, why don't we bring your bike in that you bought? Because a lot of people say, we see you buying stuff all the time, we never see you sell. Today we get to see the person who bought the bike.
Yeah, let's go. I'll go get it. And
Sure, and then you can walk the folks through why it's so cool.
When I saw you pick it, that was a farm in Tofield, or where was it?
No, that was out near Mundare.
Mundare, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. But when I saw you pick this on your show, I was rather excited because I've done one of these before. And the one I did is, it's on Pinterest, you can actually see it. This ages from anywhere from 1928 to about 1936.
So it is a good early bike.
It is. Now you'll notice it's got the same diameter seat post as your
Oh yeah.
bike over there.
Yeah.
It's not standard. Of course, this one here is going to take some work too because this is all galvanized seats in here. You have the same problem here as you have in that one.
Well, you know, people stash these old bikes in barns, and they.
Do. And of course, you're using the same rims from the same period. Now, these rims are interesting. I'll tell you what's so interesting about those. If you ever see the shape of these things in here, how they're flat up here, these are designed for rod brakes. So, in the old days, they would have, instead of cables, you'd have rods where you hit the mechanism, and the brake would come underneath and grab under here and pull up on the rim.
Interesting. Okay.
That's why they're shaped that way.
And
so
this doesn't have that,
no,
obviously.
No, but not this one. This one is a straight pedal bike, but once in a while you have one with rod brakes and carry the pads here and show what they look like. But yeah, this is, and that chain guard you brought in is
similar.
This is from the 50s.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave the tandem bike with the guys here at Circuit Cycle and Sports, but
I've been told that they have some antiques in the house. So while I'm here, I may as well have a look and see if there's anything that maybe I can pry out of their hands. Let's go have a look. That's kind of a cool piece of furniture. So you said it has kind of a secret though. What is it? Let's have a look.
This is called a bed net. Well, they call them Murphys, but this is actually what they call them as a bed net. It rolls out.
Oh, I see. So it's got a little cot built in.
Yeah, little twin, and the drawers for obviously the bedding back then, eh?
Well, who would know that that little cupboard was actually a bed? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's old, but this one comes from England.
Well, it's nice to visit with Brian and see his collection. As we were wandering around the house, so I did see something I had to buy. This super cool 1950s Japanese tin plate and friction drive race car. That sucker is massive, and it had to come back. But now I've got to go back to the town of Mere, Alberta, and see if I can load the ambulance up with another batch of treasures. So let's head back on the road. It's actually kind of a nice town, the town of Mere, Alberta. It's got that great small town kind of feel. I mean, what more could you ask for? They've got Dalmatian painted fire hydrants, a quaint little main street. They even have the world's biggest mini wheat. Da 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 da! But I have heard from the locals, if you're not careful and you let your yard get overgrown, it can be infested by beetles. Yep. That guy's got an actual infestation of beetles right there. I've invited a couple other antique dealers out here to pick at the same time. Normally you wouldn't do that when you're in this business, but in this case, these people had so much stuff, and we're trying to help them out by selling some things, that it doesn't hurt to have a few extra friends over. I'm going through some boxes, finding some old Tonka trucks, like that guy, and Mr. Goodwrench. So I'm having a peek through some of the boxes that I've just never been through before, in hopes that there might be some little hidden gem that is going to be worth making an offer on. So far, we are finding a few cool things. So I'm going to keep at it, keep digging. Don't know if I'd trust eating that Campbell's soup now. It's been sitting around for a little while. Star Wars limited edition soup. Meanwhile, some Star Wars fan at home is watching and going, oh, you should buy that. Or better yet, you should buy it and eat it on camera. Because there's nothing like watching a guy on YouTube get botulism at the end of the day. But maybe not this go around. I'm continuing to dig, finding all sorts of packaged action figures. Just a lot of good product that is very sellable. It's just, you know, whether it's going to be something that works for our shop or not. So let's keep digging. Last time I was out here, I left a few things behind that I probably should have brought back with me, and I didn't. So this time I'm going to try and do a better job of picking, even though I did okay on the last batch of things I bought, and haul a bunch more back. But I'm going to try and go through some of these drawers, go through some of the shelves underneath, and really get an idea of what is hidden around here, because like I said, every box is full of something. We're bound to turn up a few more interesting items. We just have to. Did come back for this really cool looking piece of art. It's a figural piece, kind of abstract. Guitars, Fisher-Price playset. Okay, there's nice vest. A lot of these items I sort of overlooked last time because I was frankly just overwhelmed, like the chaps and that. And I think we're gonna see if we can bring some of this back this go around. I definitely didn't look in any of these bins. Shoes. And then some random toys in the mix. You never know when you're gonna find one really old piece. That mainly looks like newer toys and ladies' clothing. Play sets. Darth Vader helmet. And then you've got like hats and shields. I wonder what's in that box. Let's see if I can reach it. I gotta move Darth's helmet out of the way. Partial Darth helmet. see what's in this box here. Giant grifter. That's what I feel like lately. Some X-Men toys still in their packaging. These look to be from the 1990s maybe, or 2000s. 1996. Hulk Hogan, still in the package. Nice jackets. Nice beadwork. Dance outfits. Dance bustles. Now, a lot of this I probably won't even ask because I'm sure they want to keep that as being part of their family and tradition. But there are some other items that might be less precious that we can bring back. Here's some creepy crawlers. This little display of bugs dry mounted. Yeah, I'm gonna get Snoopy here and look inside the drawers and see if anything was stashed away that might have been slightly better. Oh, this looks like it's mainly supplies. Measuring tape. I'm always losing my measuring tape. Every time I go out somewhere, I buy measuring tape, and now I've got like 15 measuring tapes in my drawer, and yet I still seem to can't find a measuring tape. Remember Dudley Do-Right from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show? Code of honor. Always rescue damsels in distress. Never listen to evil men with sawmills. Do whatever it takes to save the day. Always do right to keep Canada safe, and never ride your horse backwards, but they've crossed that out because apparently that's okay. Yeah, it's cute enough. You can come home with me, Dudley. There's even some Dutch clogs or klompen. I've not had the best luck selling those. I might leave those for the next person who either has a wooden leg and they need a wooden shoe to match their wooden leg, or someone who just wants them for decoration. There are some neat Tonka trucks. Oh, I'll keep looking around. And so what era would these headdresses be from?
My Musham was born in 1910.
And Musham is grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Or what's great-grandfather?
No Musham.
No Musham, okay.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's amazing. You've got the whole outfit.
Yeah.
But these are both men's outfits, correct?
Yeah.
Even though you have that on a lady mannequin.
Correct. Yeah.
These both would have been men's outfits.
Yeah.
And again, just look at that detail. And this is local. This is Cree, correct?
This is all Cree.
And what was
not very long ago.
Okay, yeah, no, it's beautiful stuff though.
Muglor was the owner of this one.
Okay.
And he was my great-grandfather.
Okay, so that would probably turn of the century maybe, or?
Yeah, 18 something.
Okay, yeah, that's good early.
And this is my father's.
Now, the one with the horns on it, tell me about this piece.
I don't know anything about the one with the horns on it.
Okay.
But this one was the one my father wore.
Oh, your father had that one?
Yeah, that's his headdress. We have a picture of him wearing it, well, drawn.
And then, of course, every little case has, you know, artifacts or, you know, the carved pipes and, you know, just a bunch of neat stuff from powwows. Moccasins, knives. Headdress of Chief Lawrence Mountain, 1980.
Yeah.
So was your dad chief as well?
He is, yeah.
Or is, yeah.
A lot of the stuff he didn't buy, they were gifted to him, right?
Wow, yeah, these are all ceremonial, drum dance. This is all, you know, traditional and original. A lot of this definitely deserves to stay with the band and be passed on so future generations can see the beautiful craftsmanship. I'm just going to come up and show some of the beadwork. All that beadwork is done by hand, of course, and very intricate and so nicely done. I have a lot of respect for Indigenous arts and what they represent, and it's just absolutely stunning. You even look at this big bison skull here. There is a scene completely painted or carved into the skull. You see there's even a little skull painted on the skull. You've got your mountains and the trees. Looks like there's been some smudging happening back here. But just a beautiful collection. Now this is something you don't find out on a pick very often, a human skull. Now you might ask, are you able to buy and sell human skulls? I know this is kind of the creepy factor, but this is a medical training tool. It's hinged. they would have it all separated so that if you were in medical school, you could study from these objects and learn from them. But yeah, just in, one of those things that you don't expect to find sitting in a building full of stuff, but kind of interesting. I am packed up. I'm gonna head back home. When I offload at the house, I'll show you guys what I picked up, and I'll do my best to kind of walk you through why I bought it, and when you're in a building that big, what stood out to me. And again, that's my second time back there, and I was able to spend almost another couple $1,000 on the stuff that I purchased, but I think you'll see why. I'm back home, and no, I didn't buy the human skull. There are people who do though, not me, not in this moment, but we're gonna offload the car. I'm gonna show you what I got. There were a few cool key pieces in here. Another good trip. Let's unpack and get it laid out. I'm all offloaded. So what did I find today? Well, I did go back for that crazy picture because one of you on YouTube said that you were interested in it. I don't think it's an Indigenous made piece, you never know. It appears that the person, you can see the eyes and the nose and what looks like an herbal cigarette, let's call it, coming out of its mouth. Or it just could be a regular cigarette. I'm not here to judge, but it is kind of an interesting piece, and heck, the price was right. Also brought back the stack of comics, which I have not gone through yet completely. Condition doesn't look to be super great on some, but there's bound to be something interesting in here, I'm sure, because there's got to be probably over 100 comic books in there. One thing I didn't notice last time, this map isn't in the greatest shape and somebody's laminated it, but if you look at it, it says Dominion of Canada, map showing the mounted police, that would have said stations, but it's had a fold and a repair. Mounted police stations and patrols, Northwest Territories, during the year 1888. From the right, Sir John A. Macdonald, who's our first Prime Minister. That's kind of an interesting piece. So that would have showed where all the Northwest Mounted Police stations were. And if you looked at this map, you could probably figure out maybe you have a farm field that used to have a station in it. You can go dig around with a metal detector and find some, hidden antiques or things. But that was kind of cool. And speaking of Mounties, I got the Dudley Do-Right sign, just because that was kind of cute. Picked up the Praktica camera and the Polaroid, even though I didn't feel like I really needed more cameras. When you are in a location like that and you can buy whatever, may as well pick up the things you can sell. The replica vintage phone, it looks like an antique phone, but really this is probably from the 1960s or 70s. Still a cool novelty piece. Nice little box Britain set of figures, all mounted on horse, and a couple early sort of looking pipes, and they've got that nice lid detail on them. So there's that guy, and then there's a much bigger one. This is dated 1806. I kind of doubt whether it's actually from 1806, but I mean, you never know. I'm not a pipe expert, but the detail on the top does look fairly old, and it is stamped and hallmarked. So I think it is either way a good quality pipe. Whether it's an 1806 good quality pipe is another story, but has a couple little cracks in it. Otherwise, it's complete. Northwest Mounted Police shoulder patch that somebody cut off of their uniform, embroidered. That's a neat piece. And for whatever reason, a Confederate US $1 bill. There was a time when you could find those things all over the place. And I went back for Skeletor. Didn't want to leave him behind. And I noticed he's got his accessories, so that's kind of a bonus. But yeah, picked up a Skeletor. Did go back for the Vaseline or uranium glass bowl, because that will sell. Like, I don't usually do glassware, but that is one that will sell. The creepy bugs, including the stick bug. Ironically, there's a real bug on the outside of the case. But yeah, a whole bunch of taxidermied or dry mounted bugs and beetles. Binoculars, which are Parisian, and they say the Jockey Club Paris. So this is probably horse racing. Nice piece of early horse racing history. Beautiful leather. And yeah, it's nicely made little set of binoculars with their original leather case. And I was able to get the lid too, even though it had come off. The hinges broke at some point. It does have the lid. This I picked up mainly because it was a decoration. it's, you know, sort of in that Middle Eastern style, like Marrakesh sort of style, but it's more modern, probably 1960s or 70s, just a home decor sort of piece. And, oh, hang on. That looks like some money stuffed in there. Hang on, I'm gonna turn my light on. Yeah, there is some kind of bill of some kind. I think, yeah, there's stuff inside of here. I'm gonna see if I can get some something in there to poke that out, see what it is. I think I found the right tool for the job. Okay, let's give this a try. I don't want to poke it all the way in, otherwise I'll never get it back out. Oh, there it is. It's half of a, well, it says 5 rials, which I think is Iranian currency. But that's probably where this comes from. Somebody obviously left that inside there. Wonder if the other half was taken by someone else or just left there as good luck. Who knows? Anyway, didn't expect to find that. But I got the Hercules playset still sealed, and have a customer, actually a friend Diecast Dave, was inquiring about that set, so it's back. We got the leather chaps, or chaps, the detailed and embroidered Indigenous vest, a couple more uniforms, Signals uniform, Canadian Forces, and the black watch uniform complete, and it even came with the mannequin. One of my customers who was really into military stuff asked if I could go back and grab that for him. So I did. It's nice that it's complete with everything, including the hat and the pouch and the kilt and the whole thing. This uniform kind of caught my attention because of the chainmail that was on the shoulders. And this is a Canadian Legion of Frontiersmen uniform circa 1905. The fellow that started this was a Boer War veteran, and they created kind of their own independent army. They got associated with the Belgian military, and they're kind of like an arm's length branch of the military around the world. They're not really associated, but it's an unusual thing. And this would have been a Canadian issued uniform. Yeah, pretty cool. You know, it's got all its accoutrement and everything, and that's a good early piece. So another really good haul today. I hope to make about $600 or $700 profit, which is not bad for one day's work. We are going to get this stuff priced and at the shop. With any luck, some of the stuff that I brought back for certain customers will find a new home before the end of the day. The best thing that I found, though, was the toy car. That unit sold while I was on the way to the other location, and it's already found a new home, and we had a good profit off of that. So you never know where you're going to find things. It was a fun adventure and a fun day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we're always out doing fun stuff and coming across cool things and putting out these awesome videos. So like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys all soon. Bye for now.